Everyone, my name is Tia and I am so excited to do this video. I believe that this video need to happen because I feel like it's just going to be a powerful year. You know, well, just not in 2020 in general, even though the theme is like 2020 vision for 2020. I really think there's some things that we really need to clean up so that way our lives can be snatched. Some things just need to go. It just need to take a back seat. Just thinking about that, that's exactly where I'm about to go. Excuse me. So there are 10 things that I really think that we should absolutely work on, process through. If you feel like there's more that should be added, please make your comments below and add some more stuff that you really think that we really need to get rid of. We really need to let go. Some things we just ain't got time for. Number 1, discipline your kids. I am so tired of going to Walmart, Walgreens, Target, Aldi's, no matter where it is, even the mall, and I can hear your child in aisle 15. I don't want that. I want this. When I was younger, my mama's told us 3 things. Don't ask for anything, don't touch nothing, and keep your hands close to the cart. That was the expectations that we were walking in the store. We already know better not to have no temper tantrum. Parents, you don't need to be your child's best friend. I hear kids talking back to their parents. Maybe you had to remind your child that you are the child and I'm the adult. Do they pay any of the bills? Do they pay for their own clothing? Who pays for the shoes? Who pays for the roof over their heads? You do. You should not be having your child talking back to you. Train a child in the way that they should go. I know some of y'all, when y'all were younger, your mom, there was a lot of things that your mamas probably used. Stare down. Switches, belts. Really think about it. My dad, he would use the thick belt and my mama used the thin belt. Whoo. Man, that thin belt hurt. I could still feel the sting. Jesus, fix it. Ooh. You know what? I learned my lesson. My parents always explained of why we got in trouble, why we got a spanking. Because there's a difference between like abusing your children and disciplining your children. Children needs to know why. When my parents disciplined me, they didn't spank me all the time. They only spanked me for things that it's like moments where you really need to stop doing this because this is going to really take you to the wrong path. There are other punishments that we had, like standing at the wall. There was things where we had to be grounded, where things were taken away from us. We had those too. It wasn't just always spanking. So I don't want to make it seem like you constantly got to spank your kids. But they did it because they loved us. They did it because they wanted to make sure that we go in the right way. When they see us steering in the wrong direction, they want to bring us into the right path. So sometimes a little bit of some consequences it's needed. And sometimes we needed that. I needed that. And because of me being disciplined, because of the love that I got from my parents, because they love me so much. And when you love someone so much, you want to make sure that they are doing the best they can. You want to make sure they have the best knowledge. You want to make sure that they're doing the right thing so nothing can hinder them from walking forward into what is available in their lives. So parents, it's all out of love. My parents disciplined me out of love. Number 2, women, when you come out of the stall, wash your hands. That is so nasty that I see women come out of the stall and the first thing they do is this. And they just walk away. Wash your hands. Even if you don't even like the soap that's in the dispenser, Bath and Body Works, they always have a sale that's going on that you can clearly get a bottle and just put it in your purse. I mean, if Beyonce can have hot sauce in her purse, maybe you should have some soap in your purse. If you don't agree with the soap that's in the dispenser, you just touch your shapoo-poo-poo and your boo-boo-boo. Do you know how much bacteria goes in and out of the stall all day and you don't wash your hands? Here's another thing that you can have on hand. You know what that is? Sanitizer. Even if you didn't go to the bathroom and you were in the stall, at least come out putting on some sanitizer.
We interrupt this program to give you a special tutorial.
Hey everyone, my name is Tia Smith and I am about to show you how to put on hand sanitizer after you come out of the stall in a public restroom if you choose not to use the hand soap in the soap dispenser. So I'm using Equate hand sanitizer travel size with vitamin E, and it kills 99% germs, and it also comes in aloe as well. So I'm going to pour a generous amount on the palm of my hands. And this is the amount that should be on your hands. You could add more if you want to. And whoop, gotta go ahead and catch it. And it comes and it looks very, very clear. And you're just gonna rub it in and try not to get it on your watch like I did. And rub it in your hands thoroughly. And then voila, that is it.
Just to think about it, I just need to do another one. Because just thinking about the boo-boo, like, and you don't wash your hands? What are those things? Stop putting your business out on social media. Some things are just straight up personal. You just don't need to put it out there. I don't care about your relationship. I don't care about who broke your heart. I think people just need to invest in a counselor. You just need to have a real good friend. Somebody who's older than you that has a little bit more wisdom in life that can help you. But social media is not the platform for you to put out your personal business. I don't care. Why are we beefing on social media? If you got the guts to put it out on social media, make sure you have the guts to say it in somebody else's face. Because people are so bold into really talking on social media about what they about to do to somebody. And then they don't even have the guts to say in that person's face. Talk about how God is so good. Talk about your excitement and goals. Have some inspirational quotes. If you have a problem with someone, go have a conversation with them. You put it out there, people are going to see it, especially if they're following you. Do you think people are dumb? Do you think people are not going to just automatically just catch on of who you're talking to? I remember this situation that happened. One thing that got me upset is the fact that somebody had the audacity to take something that I go by that keeps me out of having bad relationship with people and bust it out on social media. You know I'm going to see it. And then when you confront the person about it, they want to sit there and lie and say, no, it didn't mean towards you. No. If it wasn't towards me, then why does the words that you say look very, very familiar? Actually, I'm the only one that says. I have this thing where, okay, my brother, he's been in relationships, whatever. I had this thing that just because this girl is talking to my brother, that don't mean they have to feel obligated to be in a relationship with me. They get to know my brother. Don't feel you have to force. We have to be best friends, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be best friends with you. I don't really know you. And on top of that, I'm not going to get all personal with you. I don't need another buddy. I already have enough buddies. No. So for me, I don't even know if this is how real this relationship is. Y'all are dating, so that can go either way. It can either go up or it can either go down. And a lot of them, they end up going down. When I get to know whoever my brother's or he's talking to, I don't do it on when he wants me to do it. And I'm not gonna get to know them when you want me to. I'm gonna take my time, and he knows that I take my time to, first of all, get used to the relationship. Then again, get used to this individual being around all the time, in the house, events, everywhere. I get to know people when I want to because it's my choice. And at the end of the day, everyone does it. It has happened where who my brother was talking to, because it seemed like it was serious, I was taking it a little bit serious. So I was, starting to get to know this person, whatnot. Then when they fell off, guess what? Now all of a sudden they ain't talking to me. What did I do? I didn't do anything. That's the reason why. It also showed at the same time that you're only talking to me because you're talking to my brother. Everybody else can have moments if they decide who they get to be with and who they can be in a relationship with and who they want to get to know. Then why all of a sudden am I being chastised for having the same thing? The same person who said this out on social media, they end up doing it later. I stopped taking advice from people, and that's going to go into my next quote. You know what? I'm about to go into it right now. That's going to go into number 4. Respect others' opinions. This is the thing. I am sick and tired of being in the world where we are separating ourselves because we all think differently. I don't think like you think. You don't think like I think. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Even twins have different fingerprints, even though they look exactly alike, but they're still different. If you don't like my decision, cool. If I don't like your decision, cool. But at the end of the day, we still should be in a place that we respect each other's opinions. I am not made like you. Yes, I may have been made for the same potter because he formed everything, including the universe. But that doesn't mean he made my brain, my personality, my character, my values, my standards. He didn't make all of us the same. We are all different for a reason. We gotta respect each other's opinions. We need to stop trying to shove our own thoughts and what we believe down people's throats. If everyone doesn't agree with you, there is nothing wrong with that. And you shouldn't be treating somebody bad because of that. That is so flippin' annoying. We ain't gonna always like the same things. We're not gonna always have the same process of the way we take things. Everybody sees life differently. It kind of reminds me how we sit there and we ask God, say, Lord, I want $1 million. Well, okay, here it is. Now, everybody knows that when you ask God for something, it ain't gonna come the way you want it to come. But what do you got to do? You still got to receive whatever way it comes because there ain't no debate when it comes to God, period. We can respect the way God hands us things. Why can't we handle how things are given to us when we don't even agree with it? Especially when it comes to opinions. If you don't agree with somebody, can we just agree to disagree and still have love in the center? If you don't agree with me, then I don't like you anymore. If you don't agree with me, then we ain't cool anymore. Verdad, we gonna give up everything, especially relationships that we've been with, because we don't agree? Really? All of that stuff goes down the drain off opinions? People do that. I even dealt relationships where that happened to me. When I finally got to a point of saying no, all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. All of a sudden, all issues just rises up. I'm the bad guy. I'll go into that a little bit later because it's definitely on the list. I respect everybody. I respect everyone's decisions. Even though if I don't agree with it, I'm still not going to treat you bad because my thought process is different than yours. Everyone sees the world through different eyes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Can we just celebrate differences? By you saying that you don't like me because the way I think is because I don't agree with you, basically you're saying you don't agree with my creativity. If God doesn't do that and we weren't supposed to be in the image of God, walk in the path that Jesus walked, Christ-like, then we should be able to respect everybody's decisions. See, because we need to be redeemed. Number 5, we need to treat people the way we want to be treated. They want you to treat them like they the best thing in the world. Treat them like kings. Treat them like queens. But you know what? The way they want to be treated, they don't even give it out. Period. People used to say this to me, and this would really hurt a lot. And the thing that they will tell me to do is just stick to what you do. Nothing bugs me more when people be dancing around. When people say, oh my gosh, I'm not good at dancing. I'm not as good as you. First of all, I don't care because I don't need you to sit there and compare yourself to me because I can take anybody regardless of where they are at. I have this thing where I believe everyone can dance. I just got to find out where they are and I could just meet them there and we can call it a day. But everyone can dance. By me going to school and taking modern, you would know a lot of what is dance and what isn't dance. And you will come to find out that a lot of things are dance. A lot of things can be put in a dance. A lot of things can be created in a dance. People don't even know that. But I know because I went to school for it. Anywho, when people are dancing, because they know I'm a great dancer, I never judge anyone in their dancing and what they do and be like, ugh. That hurts so much because first of all, I don't treat people like that. If people are in my gift, I dance with them. I don't ever make fun of them. I don't want them to feel like they can't. And also, I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. I do it along with them. When I get into somebody else's gifts, such as, acting, music, or maybe even singing, maybe even some modeling, no matter what it is, when I step into it, they look at me and it's almost like, ugh, why are you even doing that? Like, you shouldn't be doing that. That is so rude. It just really hurts me when I let people, when people step into my craft and what I do well, I welcome with open arms. That's how I treat people. But for people to do that to me, that hurt a lot. And it's like, I didn't do anything to you. I even had people like, you ain't even on the right note. Did I ask you? If I'm not on the right note, can you guide me to the right note? Number 6, humble yourselves. I don't only teach people who know how to dance, I also teach those who want to learn how to dance. I could take somebody who's raw and make them a beast. I did a lot with kids, I did a lot with teenagers, and I most definitely did a lot with adults. When people step into my gift, I don't want no one to feel uncomfortable. My goal, especially my classrooms, I wanted my classrooms to feel like they're at home in their bedroom, dancing like crazy to their favorite song. But the thing about me is I humble myself. You have to humble yourself. I humble myself a lot. We need to get a place that we humble ourselves. If you love your gift, think about it. Am I in the position? Can I be able to teach people who can do my gift? Can I be able to take the people who already know my gift and take it to another level? Can we be able to share what we love to do with other people, regardless if they're trying to be great or not? Like, even though I step into other people's gifts, I'm not trying to be the best. I'm not trying to get a record deal. I'm not trying to be the best actress in the world. I'm just having fun. It's not even all that serious. There's this thing where people think you have to be a master in your own craft. I don't want to be a master in my own craft, because once you become a master in your own craft, there's no room to grow. You become very prideful. You think too much of yourself. You become selfish. And then you have a moment where you judge people. We need to stop judging people and start humbling ourselves. Stop judging because somebody is different from you. Especially when it comes to people's lives. People who love the Lord, you are not saved all of your life. We get to a point that we like to measure a lot. You went and shot a person, and you stole from a grocery store. This person is a little bit more better than this person who shot because this person's in jail. It's all the same. When I see somebody who loves the Lord, but they drink, everyone has a process. I'm not going to say, well, this person obviously isn't Christian because they're drinking. If they want to have a little sippy sip, let them have a little sippy sip. I need to have a sippy sip because you just drive me crazy with your judgmental booty. Who cares? I get strangers coming to talk to me. There was this dude who was talking to me because he loved my face. He said, oh, it's just so beautiful. Your face is just amazing. You have wonderful skin. I know I got beautiful skin. Ivory soap and Up and Up moisturizer, oil-free moisturizer. That's my skin regimen. And he talking about my skin, and he was going on for minutes. And I just stood there and I was listening. I didn't sit there and judge that person about, why are you talking to me? Why are we having a conversation? Like, sometimes people need people to talk to. And they will go into stories where it's like, oh, but I don't sit there and judge. Maybe they need somebody to talk to. And maybe God sent them just to see what I'm going to do. Sometimes God tests us. We just need to get ourselves together because we just act like we just too much. You right. You are too much. You too much need to get baptized in the River Jordan. I need to clear this prescription. Sometimes we need to, clean our glasses because we busy judge people through foggy glasses. And we don't even look at our own glasses first. Number 7. All right, so we need to go a little bit. We're about to, go a little bit deeper now. Know your gifts. Take the gifts test. Stop and have reflection. What do I truly want to do? I don't want to be going into no drive-through at McDonald's just trying to get the beautiful, delicious, nice and chewy, soft, hot chocolate chip cookies, and you busy giving me an attitude. If you don't like your job, don't work there. Now, I'm in the workforce. Do I like it? Absolutely no. But I don't sit there and think of, I'm a slave to my job. No, I see it as an opportunity of serving others and giving them what they need and the quality of it. And not just serving customers, serving the coworkers, understanding management, understanding how to work with people as a team. I learned all that stuff at work. And also, too, I also use my job to also, of course, to pay my bills, but also to pay and invest in where I want to go in my life. I know I ain't gonna be at the job forever. There's this girl who who I work with, and she was telling me how, she got let go of her job because of some issues, and she's getting things figured out, which is, I'm great that she's talking to managers and stuff and getting things situated out. But also, she was very like, oh man, I can't believe it. But I had to remind her, I said, your job is not your life. Your job is not your life. Don't get to a place of feeling stuck that this is all you got. I just need to just pat myself down for that. There is so more in store for you, but you need to figure out what you want to do and just do it. Don't wait for God to give you a sign. That's the thing that kind of annoys me. God don't need to give you no sign. You just need to do it. I remember last year when I was doing the Rich and Tone experience, I was amazing. Changed my life. That's why I am where I am today. I was talking to this guy, and I was telling him, I was like, man, like, I really love where I'm at right now as far as, taking classes and, getting this hardcore training. I was like, man, I want to continue to do this. I was like, I really want to be here. And he said, well, why don't you be here? He's like, do you have any friends? You have family? Are you married? Do you have kids? What's holding you back? I said, well, I just don't want to be somewhere where God is not going to be. And he said, well, what if God wants you to be here? You just haven't made the move yet. Bruh, first of all, that changed my whole life. Like, wow, that is so true. Sometimes you just need to make the move and let God, or if that person, you don't believe in God, the universe or the cosmos or whatever, karma, whatever you want to call it. I say just straight up God. But sometimes you just need to just make the move and just do it. You don't need anybody's permission. We need to get to a point we got to cancel out the voices. Cancel out what we think is right. Cancel out what our family members believe that we should be doing. What is in your heart? What do you feel like you need to do? And my thing is just do it. Don't see your job as a slave structure. Don't see your job as, this is all I have. That is a lie. That's a lie that you're telling yourself. There is more in store for you. You just need to figure out what that is. I don't need to be feeded into whatever you're dealing with. Get to a funk of doing what you love. Take a test, do what you got to do so you can actually be doing what you actually really want to do. Okay? Number 8, we need to stay positive and protect our mind. Your mind is the most powerfulest thing that's on your entire body. What you think about, what you meditate on is what's going to come out. Block all out the negative energy. You do know you attract what you put out. So if you're thinking negative, you're going to attract nothing but negative. The universe don't know the difference between right or wrong. It's just going to bring you whatever it is. And you put a measure on what that exactly is, positive or negative. We need to be a little bit more positive. We need to stop being negative. I am at this point where I am just done being negative. I am done of thinking about my past, about people who hurt me, people who wasn't there, people who didn't support. I'm just over it. I don't need confirmation for anybody of who I am. You have to know who you are. And the best way you could do is stay positive. Build yourself up. I love David in the Bible. David he had to build himself up because he had a lot of enemies. There was a lot of people that were after him because he was the greatest warrior. He defeated a lot of people. Everybody was after David. But you know what? He had to build his strength in the Lord. He had to build his strength by himself. He didn't have a bunch of people to build him up. He had to build himself up. So that means you need to build yourself up. You don't need your mama, your granny, your spiritual anybody to help you tell you who you are. They can tell you all you want to, but if you don't think about it, if you don't believe it, if you don't put actions towards knowing that I am strong, that I am amazing, and I am great, and I'm going to do great things in my life, if you don't put action to what you're believing in for yourself and staying positive, then guess what? Nothing's going to happen. Things happen when you say something. There's this thing that's called life and death is in the power of the tongue. So if you want some life, speak life. Don't speak death. You have to separate yourself from your family and from you. You need to stay positive. Think positive things. Even though I get it, childhood can damage you. Things that people say can damage you. But you have the choice if you want to receive that stuff in your life, in your mind, or walk away. You control that. Nobody else do. I think we forget that we have a lot of power in ourselves, and we just think we have to put it in the hands of men. I am not putting the power in the hands of men. I'm putting the power in the hands of God and myself, and I'm moving forward. So speak positive. Get some positive quotes. There's so much on Pinterest. You can even pick up some quotes on Instagram. Google is another place where it has bunch of pictures of positive. I recently got this called Inspiring Quotes by Inspiring Women. I just recently bought this today and it was on sale. And guess what? God is so good. It was the last one. And this is a daily desktop calendar of words of positivity every single day. I moved to California. I didn't realize how damaged I was. I was really damaged. I was so negative. And the reason why I was so negative is because I put the measure of what people believe that I was in their hands. When I see people being celebrated, and I've been doing things for absolutely years, it really got me feeling some type of way. Like, wow, what did this person do to receive celebration and I didn't? When I sit there and I support people and be there and actually show up to people's things, it really got me thinking, okay, so why when it comes to people, others, they show up for, but then when it comes to me, they really don't? It really made me think about myself. I was very negative. I had this thing where I believed more in people and their success and who they were and wanting the best for them than I really thought for myself. At the end of the day, you just got to get to a point, you just got to stay positive. Did you know that if someone be rude to you, you can just give them a compliment and it will change their whole demeanor? Stay positive. Number 9, be grateful. There's a lot of things we need to be grateful for. I have to thank God all day throughout the day because sometimes we forget of how blessed we are. There are people who don't have a roof over their head. There are people who don't got food to eat every single day. I live in a state where I work and I'm downtown and I see homeless people everywhere. And I have to stop to think about 2 things. Number 1, what got them to that place? I really what got to this place because they're very comfortable. Number 2, I also think about how grateful I am to have a place to live, to have food to eat, to have a roof over my head, to have a job, like just everything. Because sometimes we don't think about those things. Even when I'm going out of the neighborhood just to get into the street, I say, thank you, Lord, for the open door, me getting out of the neighborhood to go in the street. Because a car could easily come and hit me. I'm even thanking the Lord when I'm making my way home. Because I get home around 1 a.m. in the morning because I close. So sometimes you just need to count your blessings. So if you had to write a grateful book, I have a grateful book because I don't want to be like the children of Israel. The children of Israel complained a lot, always complaining about something. It's like, bruh, like you're about to enter the promised land. Why are y'all complaining about food? You get food every single day. God provided. Why are you complaining? That's why those people the younger children had to enter the promised land because God didn't want no ungratefulness people who constantly complaining all the time to go into the promised land. 2020 is the promised land, y'all. And teach your kids how to be grateful. Kids don't know about gratefulness. Like, we complain way too much. We complain about the smallest things. I know I'm guilty. I used to complain all the time. I used to complain about where my life is. I used to complain that, I'm not working the right job. But I'm learning now to stop complaining because there's a lot to be grateful for. The most thing that I mostly complain about, is with my life, is because I'm just a person that is purpose driven. My focus is nothing but to stay in the will of God, point blank, period. So when I don't see things happening at the timing that I want it to happen, I kind of get a little bit discouraged, especially when I say, okay, God, you said this, I'm doing what you're supposed to do. I'm tithing, I'm first fruited, I'm giving offering. Something need to come about. But I also learned by reading a lot of books like Taraji's book, which is an amazing book. I read Tyler Perry's book, which is absolutely awesome. And there's other books that I got. Tiffany Haddish's book, I'm going into that one. But there's also this daily book that I got by Joyce Meyer, 365 Days of Being Grateful. And knowing that everyone has a process. There's a process. People these days who become famous, they've been doing things for years. Stuff don't just happen out of nowhere. So I had to learn how to be grateful for the process that God has me on and stop complaining all the time. It's a process. Things are also not going to happen in your own timing. And I had to learn that. When I had to trust God, I also had to trust his timing. And sometimes I think I trust God, but I did not trust his timing. And I learned how to surrender. I surrender to you, Lord. I tried it on my own. It didn't work. I'm just glad that he didn't do it the way at the time that I did, because to be honest, mentally and spiritually and maturely, I don't think I would have been I really don't think I would have been, well prepared. And especially hearing about people in the industry. I was watching the documentary of Marilyn Monroe, Judy Garland. I mean, and of course my favorite, Michael Jackson. And they didn't know how to handle things. You know what I mean? And so the most thing that hurt me the most was Robin Williams when he passed away. He made everybody laugh, but he was so depressed, But I just grateful that I'm learning, the no's, and I'm learning how to understand the no's. And sometimes we don't understand the no's now, but later on, it's like, thank you, Jesus, for you close that door. God, he does that. He looks out for us. And we may not understand now, but later we understand. You knew. You knew thoroughly. Number 10, it's my absolute last thing that we need to fix: self-care. And say no. I believe in my brain, and this is my thinking, I believe there are two things in this world that we deal with. And the two things is, number one, selfish people to focus on others. Number two, people who focus on others to focus on themselves. I'm one of those people that I focus so much on others and believe more than others that by me right now where I'm at to focus on myself, it's hard. So I started to focus on myself and I lost a lot of people. I started to be more honest and I lost people in my life. But you know what? I don't care. I think the most hurtful thing is people really think I wake up every single day to ruin their lives. Like, people think that my intentions is to hurt them. And the worst thing they tell me, they think that I am, is jealous. There's nothing that you built with your bare hands that I'm jealous of. I don't want what you want. Period. But I had to get to a point that I had to focus on myself because, I focus too much on people. I focus too much on their goals, what they're doing in their lives, supporting them, being there for them. And I had to figure out, what do I like? I'm not used to focusing on myself. When I grew up, there's this motto that my family went by, and it was called FHB, Family Hold Back, which means it ain't about us. It's about people. It's about families. So that's why we're so loyal. That's why we're so unselfish. That's why I can have a zillion things going on in my life. But if I say I'm going to be there for you, I will be there for you. And I don't just say it just to say it. My action shows. What goes also with self-care is saying no. There's this situation that happened, and I had someone, and they wanted me to do an event with them. And I came to an honest conclusion, and I told them I can't be able to do it. The month that they wanted me to do this event, it was already busy. I already had a lot on my plate. That day that they wanted, I already had enough to do that day. I wasn't trying to add something else on my plate. So I was honest, and I said, I just can't be able to do it. Things just did not go well in the end. And so we're no longer in the right space. I just realized when you just say no, you may lose people in your life. And if you say no and they stay, then you're good. But if they walk away, I mean, you just got to move on. I had to do self-care. I do so much that people don't even know that I do. When they catch me and I say I'm on break, it's because I'm literally on break. There are moments I just didn't want to do nothing sometimes because I'm always everywhere. I was gone so much that my family barely saw me. I give people the surface of what I do. I had a total of 7 jobs, which means I was everywhere throughout the whole week. I was always somewhere. So when I needed a break, I really did. I needed a place where I needed to sit down somewhere. That day I had a lot going on, but there are other moments in my life I just needed to sit down because I was doing too much. I was doing way too much. So I needed to just to opt out. And when you move forward, you just got to know your limits. I didn't know my limits. I constantly want to be there for everyone. I constantly want to be there for people. And And that's what I did. So when I said no and we pretty much fell off, one thing that people want to do is when you say no is they want you to feel like you didn't do anything at all. Like you just never been there. You just I just been like I just like I was just ghost. Like I just was so busy that I didn't have time for them. And that was not 100% true. It was not true. I was there for a lot of things, but just because I opt out of this one and other things, other, you know, another thing, that doesn't mean that I just don't care about that person, that I don't care. The thing is, I do. I care so much. I care more about people better than I care about myself. And I had to get to a moment, a conclusion that I need to quit. I need to stop doing that. I had to think about myself. I would run myself tired. I'd be so tired. Just know your limits. Say no if you need to. Don't make anyone make you feel guilty, and don't make yourself feel guilty of saying no. 2020 is the year, so let's go. Let's get it. And these are things that we just need to clean up so that way we can live the life that we always intended and what God wants for us. All right? So make sure, let's get those things together, all right? Cool beans. Happy New Year, everyone.